Okay, the first one, he said it's 42, everybody get 42? You had to move the decimal once on the outside, so once on the inside, took it to the end of that number. Then you just divided 2 into 8 and 2 into 4. And then number 3, what did you get? Everybody scared to say?
I'm still on it.
3.8.
What is it?
3.8.
3.8. You shouldn't be still on it. You had to move, you had the 8.74 on the inside, 2.3 on the outside. You had to move it over once to get it behind the 3. You move it over once behind the 7, put it straight up. Then you just divide 23 into 87.
Can you show us?
Yeah, exactly.
You get 69.
Oh,
I got that. I did that too.
How is it any different than what you just did? Give me the problem.
You didn't finish it.
What is the problem?
24, but that's 23, 1 to 20.
Somebody just read it for me.
That you shouldn't have a decimal.
Read me the problem.
8.74 slash.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay? What's the first thing we had to do? Move it, because if there's one out here, you gotta get it to the end.
Would you get 3.1?
And I moved it here, how many times?
Once.
Once, so I gotta move it here once. If you had problems after this, the problem is not with decimals, the problem is with dividing. 23 won't go into 8, so there will be no number there. 23 will go into 87, how many times? 3 times. 3 times 3, 3 times 2.
I forgot you don't bring the decimal down, you just bring it up. But I got
Yeah,
it.
you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
decimal,
yeah.
once it's there, it's just there.
Yeah, I messed up, but I got it now.
You just go on and just divide normally. 23 will go on here, how many times?
8 times
8.
8. Woo-wee.
You just divide normally. The only thing that has to do with the decimal is where to put it in your answer. You get over that right away. Move it, put it there, then you're done with decimals. Don't have to worry about the decimal no more. You just go on and divide like you would any other. Just now you're pretending that it's 83 and everything. Yes.
So, there's no decimal on the outside, but there's a decimal on the inside.
Right here. This is the one I want you to do. There's no decimal on the outside, but there is on the inside. What do you have to do?
Move the decimal. You have to create a decimal.
You don't have to create
Oh.
anything.
Just move it up.
Move it straight up. You don't even have a problem. You don't have to think.
Oh, yeah, you're
There's
right.
none out here, no problem. Put it where it is and leave it there. Now you have to divide. 5 won't go into 2, will it? How can I divide that up? Add a 0. 2 dimes can change. I can't give them any dimes, but I can give them some pennies. If I change my 2 dimes into 20 pennies, I can give 5 children 4 pennies each.
That's why you was on TV, Miss Harris.
So you saw that, huh?
Yeah, of course I saw that. I
All
watch the 5 o'clock news every day.
right. You should have been here. You'd have maybe
I
been
was breaking my butt at work.
Yeah,
I
see,
was on
you
my
just
20-minute
told.
break.
None of us saw the thing.
I
we
saw
were
it.
we were in class.
Yeah, you were, I'm sorry.
Sometimes when you're dividing decimals, if it doesn't stop, just add a 0. And you may be able to stop. If I wanted to change this fraction into a decimal, how did I say to change a fraction to a decimal? You need to look at that tonight.
You put
Divide
First
what?
process.
By
Divide
tens.
the top number by the bottom.
Oh, you got it, boy.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Man, I'm glad I
Going
came.
to 10.
I
Add another 0. I can bring it down. 8 will go into 20. Add another 0, so I can bring it down. 8 will go into 40.
Do one more of those, cause I got the.
Then it stops for me, see? So 1/8 as a fraction is equal to this
125,000.
as a decimal.
10,000.
So with decimals, you can keep adding zeros because this still just says $1. I haven't changed the value. I can't give them any dollars, but if I change my dollar into 10 dimes and there's 8 people, I can give them each a dime. That uses up 8 of them. I still have 2 dimes left. I can change those 2 dimes into 20 pennies. I can give them each 2 pennies. That'll use up 16 pennies. I still have 4 pennies left. I can change them into 40 things that make pennies and give them each 5 of them. So really what they have here is 12.5 cents. If I had $1 and 8 people, each one could get 12.5 cents. We just don't have a half a penny coin. Okay? So if that was your tax, they'd round up and say, just give me 13 cents. Because that's a 5. If this had been a 3, you'd only have to pay 12 cents tax. That's how they do tax and stuff too. It don't always just come out even. Tax is not even an even number. Tax, I think we pay what, 6.3%? So in other words, we pay 6 pennies and 3/10 of a penny on every dollar. We don't have any 3/10 of a penny. But when it adds up 2 times, it will be 12 cents, but these 3/10, now I've added up to 6/10, more than a half. You're gonna pay 13 cents tax on that instead of 12 cents. They're not gonna give away that 6/10 of a cent even though you don't have it, you see what I'm saying? So decimals, they do have value. They do add up. When you see gas and it says it's $3.10 and that little 9,
Yeah, that means it's a
that little 9
cents.
is 9 of the things that it takes 10 of to make another penny.
Really, it's
Sometimes the more
$3.
purchases you make, the more you may pay
For taxes, yeah, because if it's a fraction of it, as soon as that fraction gets to a half, they're gonna round up to the
So
next
they do interest
penny.
too.
Yeah.
They get you.
Okay, you need to practice those decimals tonight. We're gonna go over them again tomorrow. Main thing, you don't need to practice problems. What you need to practice are the rules.
Let me practice those problems.
Because once you know the rules, you can do any problem. So you need to ask yourself, what are the rules for adding decimals and subtracting decimals? What are the rules for multiplying decimals? What are the rules for dividing decimals?